You know, it's funny. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk is a guy I've studied. I've read all his books, listened to him speak in other cities on stage, and then he comes to Birmingham, which was cool because it's my city. And I had to go see him speak. And when I did, it was awesome because I got a chance to get to know him and meet him backstage. But one thing he did on stage that was just powerful was he literally called the city of Birmingham to realize that for the city to be what it can become, we need a win. We need a big win. Birmingham needs a win to get itself on the map. Elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I get to travel all over the country in markets that are not New York and LA, and everybody's asking me like, what kind of market, like, how do we put Birmingham on the map? How do we put Chattanooga on the map? How do we put Omaha on the map? And the answer was, have a win. But to really have the entrepreneurs in this city rise up and take it to the next level, they need to look at somebody that looks like them, right? When you look at Silicon Valley and Zucks or Snapchat and Ev in LA, that doesn't feel like Birmingham. They need to see you, they need to see you, they need to see you go and execute, build it from here to the next level, then it feels real. So everybody in this community needs to help each other, because if one player wins in this market, all of you are gonna be impacted.
And I think a lot of people took that as if we need one company to have this huge $100 million exit after starting here in Birmingham, and then give back to the city and create this whole ecosystem that you've seen in Atlanta and other cities across the country, and especially in the Southeast. Chattanooga has done it as well. You gotta take your skills, if you're a hustler, if you have grit, and translate them into success. You can make your own way. This guy proves it.
If you're patient, you know what your problem is? You want it now, and nothing good happens now. So put in work and go into a coma for a decade and then pop out with something. Everybody wants stuff now. That's the problem.
Thanks, brother.
You got it.
I appreciate it. I think we do need that. Don't get me wrong, but I also think that we need to work together. I think that we need to collaborate, and we need to work together to make all of our companies the best they can be, to share skills with one another to make each other better, and truly, together as a group, start a movement. You and I were talking at, I think first at dinner at Buongiorno, and you were like, man, like what Gary Vee said, it was great that he said we need a big win, but it's not like, it wasn't rocket science. We already knew that.
Right.
And you've been really spearheading that the whole time. But just, I mean, with Fleetio, but just talk about what you feel we need to do to get the big win. Like, what did Gary Vee mean, and what could it look like for our city to have a big win?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely you know, nail on the head type reaction to what a city needs. Having a big win goes a long way from the sense of like putting that city on the map, as far as like, especially in technology, just knowing that like, oh, that company or whatever, you know, some, you know, well-known thing like that was based in Birmingham. We're not telling the story that we should be.
And story is everything, right?
Yeah, and you know, you have people come here all the time and they're like, wow, this is not what I was expecting. I mean, it's just, you hear it enough times, you're like, that's cool, but then it moves beyond the like, why can't we fix that? And it's not gonna happen overnight, but I think things, you know, all the types of things that you're doing and lots of people are helping to shape the voice of the city and the narrative that we're telling, you know. It's something that we have to actively, like proactively do, and that's, I feel like, starting to happen. It's just probably going to take a little while for it to, you know, truly kind of propagate out.
I've gotten a chance to know Gary Vaynerchuk a lot more over the past few months, visiting with him back home in New York, where I grew up, getting to know him through phone calls on a regular basis, getting coached by him with a new business that I'm building. And it's amazing to me because as much as he gives through the content to his herd, people that follow him, as much as he gives as a CEO of an 800+ person media house in VaynerMedia up in New York, he also gives to people like me who he's developed a friendship with.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I like, Jared, is that you wouldn't have gotten into my office if I didn't think you were a good kid and had real skills. So keep that in mind. I'm on this call now for the same reason. I'm very willing to help you. Listen, I'm willing to help you and mentor you without any expectation in return, because I genuinely believe if that you went out and became massively successful, that would be good for me in some shape or form, just on word of mouth. So feel free, and don't feel uncomfortable, to use me a little bit more as you're game planning, because I might be able to help you. I think what you need to do is make sure that you have a very good lawyer to make sure that you never break any TOS, and build your product around the TOS, and you will be successful. You're doing all the right things, and it's forming a real relationship between you and I, and that excites me, period. You think you can build a $150 to $400 million SaaS product that services the college universities of America by building a product that does value on top of social media if you break those social media API rules. The end.
He lives it. He lives this collaboration that I'm talking about. And if he can do it, why can't we? Why can't we work together to leverage what we have in this city? This is a city with more than 1 million people, more than enough people to test a new concept. This is a city with great cost of living, a cost of living that you can recruit to get great talent to move here. This is a city with a lot to do. And for those things that there aren't to do here, you want to go somewhere else? Go to Atlanta, go to Chattanooga, go to Nashville. They're a day drive away. And if it's not enough for you, if the city isn't what you long to have, it's easy. Move. I've never understood it. How can you be miserable living in a place and just sit there and complain about it all the time when you have the freedom to move somewhere else? If you're gonna stay though, embrace it. Help tell the story when you're out of town visiting places. Help tell the story when you're in town. Use your strengths to help other people's weaknesses. Use their strengths to help your weaknesses. Collaborate and create a movement. There's plenty of companies doing great things here that can help each other already. I mean, look what's happened with Shipped. San Francisco capital coming to a Birmingham startup to help it grow. And there's other examples. Daxco is another example of that. Who are the next Ships and Daxcos? There's plenty of other examples of people who've already done it, and there's plenty of people who are trying to do it right now. Let's work together. Let's talk about each other in a positive way. Let's stop hating on competition, but instead realize that rising tides lift all boats. And let's let those rising tides lift the city of Birmingham. That is how we get the big win that Gary was talking about. I know I'm gonna try to get that win for the city. I want you to try too.